And thanks to the, I think, leadership of successive governments, the involvement of the opposition, the involvement of civil society, we've been able to see Sierra Leone's scorecard continue to improve over time, ultimately to reach a point where they passed it for multiple years. And that's why the MCC board elected ultimately to offer a compact to Sierra Leone.
By bringing together MCC's $480 million, along with Sierra Leone's $14.2 million, we are together going to make a transformational investment that is poised to bring reliable energy to nearly 5 million Sierra Leoneans.
So the indicators that we look at are really investing in people, ruling justly, and controlling corruption. Our concern is about the electoral process as a whole. 2023 was illustrative of significant problems that date back throughout Sierra Leone's electoral history. The inability of political parties and the broader international community and observer groups to have confidence in the results that are released by the Electoral Commission of Sierra Leone is not new. We've had repeated court challenges, we've had repeated reports, not unique to the 2023 elections. So our concern is in making sure that when we have the 2028 elections, we're not in the same position.
Hello, my family. Baba check the political offender with another edition of the program DONN CLIN. Well, my family, a few days ago, the U.S. government and the Salone government don't sign the MCC grant way na $480 million to Salone. But plenty people they don't understand waiting it takes for Lee Salone go get a grant and waiting and get for do with that money. Plenty people then just feel say we then grant Salone that $480 million. The government in pockets they go and the government they do whatever they want to do with that money they. Now that plenty people then feel say they happen. But just after the signing of the documents them for tell Salone government say yes, then they can grant them that money they. The All People's Congress Secretary General, when Lansana Doumbouya Esquire, they post something at the media. When we family, let me watch the video inside the U.S. government and the Salone government, they sign the MCC grant to Salone.
The compact that we celebrate today builds out and continues to build out our relationship. By bringing together MCC's $480 million, along with Sierra Leone's $14.2 million, we are together going to make a transformational investment that is poised to bring reliable energy to nearly 5 million Sierra Leoneans. This 5-year grant, and I always like to remind everyone it's a grant and it doesn't have to be repaid, will help deliver affordable and reliable electricity and open up opportunities for greater economic growth. We at MCC are entering this compact so excited to have the opportunity to build our history together.
The more than $480 million compact investment, we support foundational interventions in the energy sector, amplifying efforts by the government and other development partners to increase Sierra Leone's electricity access in line with Sustainable Development Goal 7. This transformative initiative will bridge the gap between urban and rural electrification and pave the way for a brighter future for all Sierra Leoneans. This agreement's signing is not just about energy infrastructure, I must say. It is about our broad vision for sustainable and inclusive development, as you've already alluded. It reflects our determination to promote energy equity, to ensure that all Sierra Leoneans, regardless of their location or background, have access to the resources they need to thrive. The compact aligns perfectly with Sierra Leone's medium-term national development plan, which prioritizes energy as a key driver of industrialization. I would like to express my profound gratitude to the government and people of the United States and the MCC for this tremendous support. Together, we are building a future of prosperity, sustainability, and opportunity. This occasion has further reinforced our commitment and inflamed our hope for an energy-secure future for our citizens. Today's signing symbolizes not just a friendship, but victory for the people of Syria.
Well, we all don't see the signing and the U.S. government saying na money wey Salone no get for pay. But plenty people they don't know why Salone get that money dey and how they get for use that money dey. Them feel say where they don't do this signing of this particular money, American government just they take that money dey and give the Salone government. Then they do whatever they want for do with them. Not so it dey happen. And just after the signing of that particular grant today, the All People's Congress Secretary General, when Lance Anadumwe Esquire, become na the media and be post this on X. He said the MCC grants they not for be give the Salone government until they address the 2023 election rigging and the implementation of the tripartite recommendations. He said the American government not for give government way they undermine democracy. Well, I don't know, maybe Lance Anadumwe when the Secretary General of the All People's Congress Party, maybe he says not get any idea on how the American government get for do with that money to the Salone government. When we found for the benefit of the one they will know how the American government get for pass on that money or get for implement things them how for use the money. Well, let me just listen to the American ambassador where then we conduct an interview with them na 98.1. And after, I will summarize everything in one package for lay people and will understand exactly what in this MCC grant stand for and how they get for implement the way and manner at which they get for use the $480 million where the American government grants the Salone government.
Well, I think from the U.S. government side, we're very pleased that we've been able to reach this point in the negotiations with the Sierra Leonean government. We've believed for a long time that the MCC would benefit immensely the people of Sierra Leone and set forth the transformation of the energy sector, making it truly accessible to all Sierra Leoneans and setting the stage for greater private sector growth. So the fact that we've reached the point where the compact has been signed and where we can now begin working on implementation for the U.S. government is a very positive development. So the MCC is designed to look at countries objectively, compare them with other developing countries, and offer assistance to those which are moving forward on a range of very specific indicators. So the indicators that we look at are really investing in people, ruling justly, and controlling corruption. So every year the MCC does an evaluation of all potentially eligible developing countries and determines how they are ranking on those criteria. And if a country scores highly enough on the MCC scorecard, the board then considers whether or not to offer a compact to that country. They take into account the scorecard as well as other indicators of whether a country is moving in the direction that would allow an MCC investment in development to have a meaningful impact. In Sierra Leone's case, Sierra Leone did not originally pass the MCC scorecard. So what the board decided to do was to initiate the threshold program that you mentioned, which was designed to help Sierra Leone improve on the various indicators that MCC looks at. And thanks to the, I think, leadership of successive governments, the involvement of the opposition, the involvement of civil society, we've been able to see Sierra Leone's scorecard continue to improve over time, ultimately to reach a point where they passed it for multiple years, and that's why the MCC board elected ultimately to offer a compact to Sierra Leone. The next step is, of course, for the Parliament of Sierra Leone to ratify the compact and adopt whatever legislation is necessary to set up what's called the Millennium Challenge Authority, which will be the local body that ultimately oversees the compact implementation. We're then allowed to begin spending a very small amount of the compact funds in what's called the pre-implementation phase, which will look at helping the government achieve some of the reforms that we've already talked about that it needs to do in the energy sector. It will allow us to begin some of the pre-feasibility work on the projects that needs to be done, environmental impact studies, engineering studies, design studies, and it will give the government time to meet the other requirements that it has to in order for the compact to come into effect. Once the government has met all of the preconditions, we will enter the compact into force, and that's when the bulk of the construction work will begin on the transmission and generation networks, and the bulk of the assistance will be provided on the long-term reforms of the power sector and encouragement for private sector investment.
All right.
Funds are retained by the U.S. government. The funds are not transferred to the Sierra Leonean government.
Why? Why not Sierra Leone government instead of the U.S. government?
Because that's how the Millennium Challenge Corporation is set up globally. The way that the Millennium Challenge Corporation works is that the U.S. government retains the funding. We disperse that funding directly to the contractors that are carrying out the work on behalf of the Millennium Challenge Authority. Where the Sierra Leonean government becomes involved is through its membership in the MCA, which ultimately is the authority that directs compact implementation and will handle all of the contracting decisions that need to be made for implementation of the project. And that MCA is a collection of the U.S. government, the Sierra Leonean government, representatives from civil society, and representatives from the private sector.
All right. Are you scared of government officials? That's why you are not giving the money to them.
No, this has nothing to do with Sierra Leone. This is simply...
No, I mean globally.
Globally. Well, the Congress of the United States set up how the Millennium Challenge Corporation was to function, and they made the determination as to the rules under which it disperses its funds.
And you mentioned that there are preconditions before the fund could be granted for full implementation. What are these preconditions?
So they fall into three areas. There are what I will call the legal conditions, which involve the need for the government to have the agreement ratified by Parliament, certify that ratification, and the two sides to exchange various notes saying that they have completed their internal ratification of the agreement. The second part of it has to do with the specific prerequisites that are found in Article 7 of the Compact that deal with reform of the power sector. So there's a number of things that the government has agreed to do as preconditions to receiving the full MCC grant. All of those are specific, again, to the power sector management itself. The third area is a statutory requirement from our Congress that says that countries that are receiving MCC funding have to continue to meet the scorecard eligibility requirements throughout the life of the project. So at the time we determine when to bring this compact into force, we will need to see that Sierra Leone is still meeting those eligibility requirements. And for Sierra Leone specifically, the ruling justly indicator has been the one that has been most problematic in the recent past, and therefore in order for that indicator to continue to score where it needs to, we will need to see the full implementation of the Agreement for National Unity and the implementation of the recommendations from the Tripartite Committee's final report on election reforms.
In a situation during implementation, Salone doesn't pass, what would happen to the compact grants?
So, if Sierra Leone were to fall behind, we would look at various mechanisms depending on how severe the fall behind was that we could bring into place, and that could include everything up to and including the suspension of the compact itself.
Okay, after the election, we have a lot of concern from local and international observers in terms of data of the election. Are you still concerned of the data of the 2023 election?
So our concern is about the electoral process as a whole. 2023 was illustrative of significant problems that date back throughout Sierra Leone's electoral history. The inability of political parties and the broader international community and observer groups to have confidence in the results that are released by the Electoral Commission of Sierra Leone is not new. We've had repeated court challenges, we've had repeated reports, not unique to the 2023 elections. So our concern is in making sure that when we have the 2028 elections, we're not in the same position. What we're concerned with is making sure that for 2028, everyone has confidence in that data that is released and that there is the paper trail behind that data to back it up.
No.
In terms of the MCC compact's impact on domestic politics, no, the U.S. government does not interfere in domestic electoral politics. Our concern is not about who is in power. Our concern is about working with the Sierra Leonean people to establish democratic institutions that allow them to make that choice about who fundamentally is in power in the country. So MCC will not get involved in the domestic politics of Sierra Leone in any way, nor would any part of the U.S. government become involved in your domestic politics. That's for the Sierra Leonean people. As far as how implementation will benefit the Sierra Leonean people, at the end of the MCC compact, we are confident that we will see the vast majority of Sierra Leoneans having access to reliable electricity. That means people will be able to have confidence that they will have the light and the power that they need to run their businesses, to study, to make sure their appliances at home work properly. It will allow for better investment from the international community and hopefully stimulate domestic investment because power will be reliable and power will be cheaper than it currently is at the end of this project.
Well, my family, we all know you're waiting the U.S. ambassador don't say about how they get for that $480 million the way the young government grant the Salone government. Well, first of all, he said the U.S. government very, very pleased when they don't reach this particular point with the Salone government. And they're happy that the MCC will benefit Sierra Leoneans towards energy. He said this particular MCC, he said them design and for look into the objectives for compare country them way develop and for assist other country the way they try for develop for let them say go move forward. And he said then get some specific indicators them where then they look into before ever they award this particular grant to any country. And he said the first indicator then they look into any government is investing in the people. And the government for rule justly and the government for able for control corruption. He said now some of them things and they look into if the government able for address all the issues, then that means say, then they get points them for lay them will give them then grants them they. He say every year, then they evaluate all the eligible developing countries them, and then they determine if they score high in their areas then they, and then go offer that particular country this grant where Salone don't get so. And he say in previous years, he say Salone nobody win this particular MCC scorecard. And he said this particular program, now a threshold program, way for help Salone for improving various indicators them, where the MCC they look at. He said like the leadership of successive governments, the involvement of opposition, the involvement of civil society. He said all them things and they look into them before ever Salone go win that particular money day. He said, and now the MCC don't see say Salone don't improve over time. He said, and they don't reach the pass mark these past years. He said that is why they give Salone this particular money. He said because all these past years, Salone don't pass their benchmark. And he said now he left for the parliament for let them do all necessary documentation and local bodies for oversee the particular implementation of this particular compact. And this particular pathway the American ambassador talk about these grants is very important for the people and will listen. He said these particular funds, they need ever transfer to any Salone government. He said because that's what the grant stand for, not for transfer to government. He said these particular funds, they go directly to the contractors, them will get for carry out the work on behalf of the MCC authorities. That the work them where then give that money they for, like electricity and other sectors them for development, where then get the contractors them. Now that time they then the transfer waiting and also them for transfer to the contractors them for let them carry out the work with them for do in order for the Salone go develop that particular sector. He said and Salone government go only involve through the membership of the Millennium Challenge authorities, that the MCA. He said that side the Salone government get for involved for the implementation, for take decision for all the contracts them. And he go ahead again for say, he said during this implementation of these grants, he said Salone government for continue for meet all the requirements them we make them be pass this MCC. That's all the thing that will make them pass this MCC, then for continue for meet with all the requirements then they, whilst the developments they go on. And some of the requirements that the Salone government for meet whilst the implementation of the grants they go on, he say there should be national unity, that we all for come together as one, and the implementation of the tripartite recommendations. That's what they're waiting them. We don't say now the tripartite, then for implement them. That's all waiting them. We don't recommend by the tripartite if it come to pass. He say whilst the implementation of the grants they go on, so all lenting and they for themselves for the go on. 98.1 them ask the ambassador if the election result where the opposition is saying are rigging election, the rogue and so on, if it go affect the MCC grant. Now this the American ambassador answer. He said they're not concerned about domestic. He said they're not concerned about any country than domestic politics. He said that they not to stand for. He said the election will happen 2023. All waiting the opposition they say happen. He said nothing then way we don't they happen from previous elections them. He said all elections they will Salone ever conduct. Always them problem here they come up. He said so now the next election on 2028. He said then they go all out for lay anything like that they not get for repeat. He said that that's the end stand for. Lay all renting and day where people in the ground will say be happen pan all election the way be happen at the country. He said they not go on for lay that repeat 2028. He said so the 2023 election not get nothing for do with the MCC grant. And he said American government need ever interfere by any country domestic politics. He said the concern is not about who that the rule or who that need the rule. He said the concern is about for develop Salone and the people in a Salone for let their life them better. So mi fambulem, now that the MCC grant where they give Salone the $480 million where the American government give Salone, now that it dey for. This now for the benefit of the one that we don't know waiting this particular money they stand for. Then feel say where they say American government for give Salone government $480 million. Then feel say now the Salone government then just they take that money they give. Not to say the bill una all here waiting the American ambassador say. He said that particular money they where Then don't notice say this side, and then for develop na the country. Where Salone government don't fund the contractors there, or the American government they don't fund the contractors, and they no say yes, they're satisfied with them. Say yes, they are, then go deliver. Then the American government go say, okay, this particular project, now this money, now go do for them. Unaya this money, then go get people them, we go the monitor them. It says Salone government go only involve through its membership of the Millennium Challenge Authorities, that the MCA, for implement the decision for all the contracts them. That Salone government are done they no more, for involve pan, for recommend how for award the contracts them, give different companies them. So Salone government not get any hands pan that money they. This now for the benefit of the one that we no know. So me family, how are they get the updates and the news? That's why I go they pass among to una. And una not forget for like, share, and comment. And una not forget for subscribe na my YouTube channel, DONN CLIN, and hit the notification bell so that anytime I upload any new video, you will be among the first people we go see the video or we go get notification. So me family, on that note, now I go stop the program so far. Until next time, this na Baba Check, the political offender, with another edition of the program DONN CLIN. Na me say tata, peace.
This not just up for music,
Sweet music production.
DONN CLIN. And the program this, where they educate you. DONN CLIN. And the program this, where they inform you. DONN CLIN. And the program this, where they entertain you. DONN CLIN. DONN CLIN. DONN CLIN. And the program this, DONN CLIN. DONN CLIN. I say this program not for me and you, because it entertain you. This program had to inform you. It entertain you. Oh yeah. This program had to inform you. Yes, it inform you. All the daily things them where they happen now we country. Baba Check there for inform you. All the daily happenings where they go on now we country. Baba Check just entertain you. Tell me say Kokoriko. Before long go, so you have to wake up. Tell me say Kokoriko. Wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. I say this program damn too nice. It entertaining from you too. Baba Check keep program damn too nice. Oh, it entertain me. DONN CLIN. And the program this, where they educate you. DONN CLIN. And the program